All right, let's get it. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. We're here. Let's do it. Week 5 roundup. We got Berg and Cordell to start off here. I want to talk about this game, and this is something Berg obviously is very aware of now. But when you have a Palafin team, you are you're susceptible to getting exposed on turn 1, right? Where you can face down a Gouging Fire. Baby Palafin can't do anything to this, significantly at least. And we will see that this is just straight up wave crashed into it because Dragon Dance was inevitable. Well, looking at Berg's team down here, Palafin's looking like the only true defensive answer to this. I mean, you got Disguise on Mimikyu, but after this thing gets going, Mimikyu's not really doing a ton, and this is going to kill everything else. So, I get the idea there. But yeah, Gouging Fire, problematic. It can kind of freely DD on turn 1, right? And then gets the kill on the following turn because it's faster. All right, Mimikyu comes in, checks out. I don't hate a play rough into Shadow Sneak here, but Berg, I think, got a little nervous. I'm seeing the DD on turn 1 and went for a Sword Stance and then followed it right back up with not clicking Shadow Sneak. So yeah, kind of wasted turns. Berg's really just out of his mind at this point. As you can see, things are dying. Got a little chip, lived a hit with Kabalion, and then Gudra comes in here. There we go. Terra Waters can live the hit. Could have done that from the rip and had 3 more Mons left over. Honestly, could have just went hard into it, I guess, on turn 1 too, right? Palafin straight into this. On the DD, you live any hit. Draco probably Okos, and now you still have your Palafin in the back. Yeah, but you live and you learn. That is what it is. But yeah, I think Berg's not going to make that mistake again. All right, let's go. Oh, sorry for the spoilers. We're going to go with Tan and Tai here. What turn? Okay, so we're just going to kind of speed through this. We've got Terraflying Kilo. Looking at Tan's team, Tinglu's huge for Latios. It doesn't really do a ton outside of that. It's not bad for Treads. It's not bad for Clodsire. But mostly it's there for Cloud and Latios. Breloom, Samurott, and Ogerpon kind of dominated a little bit. So we're just kind of going through. We get the Ceaseless Edge going. This was actually a Scarfed Samurott, which is actually kind of important. That looked really, really good into Ty's team. Terapagos comes in to spin them away, and then gets a kill with Terra Starstorm. So, okay, we got 2 moves here. Really, we're just going to kind of fast forward here, because there was one big play I wanted to talk about. I want to say... Oh yeah, it was the turn before this. You turn out. Yeah, the para right there is crazy, right? You kill that with Draco, if that's what you're going for. And then you can keep your Soul Dew plus a ton of health. You got that extra 42% to, possibly be a Kilo switch in, or I don't know if that lives. No, it should, because, yeah, you have Soul Dew, so you got +1 Spadef, right? It's like you're calm-minded already, so you should live a Terra Starstorm. That could help out in that sense. Yeah, really unfortunate getting fully parried there. All right, Ogerpon comes in. We actually see them match Trailblazes. All right, Don Fan. Okay, so right now, called it Don Fan. Treads, right? Treads is not doing a whole lot except providing you a electric immunity for Kilo, but you already have that with Clodsire, right? I think Treads is really expendable at this point, especially at 16%. And I think I mean, the rest of Tan's team is chipped down a little bit, where Kilo or Ogerpon could possibly just end up cleaning up, and it doesn't actually matter. But I'm nitpicking. That's what I do in these highlights. So I think the right play here is just sack Treads and then revenge kill this. Right? Tan goes hard into Breloom on seeing the Earth Power the turn before, but Treads at 16%. That's in Terra Starstorm range. So that's what Ty just goes for. kills that. And now there's really not an efficient way to revenge kill Terapagos, right? So Ton ends up just sacking a bunch of stuff without realizing that Clodsire actually can live. Yeah, it only did 35%. So, you know, maybe there's a world where Clodsire hit, like, the recover on that turn, starts boosting up, right? But yeah, Terapagos goes crazy, and Ting-Lu cleans it up. So GG's to you guys. That was a fun game. Terapagos, for the first time this season, actually did something, right? I got all my tabs at random points here. All right. E and what? All right. My only note for this game is Alolan Eggy doing Alolan Eggy things. All right, so we got that lead. Yeah, Don doesn't have to Terra. You don't want to get rid of your grass type in front of this, of course. And then let's see here. Yeah. Heat of the Week, Part 1, Meteor Beam, Iron Moth. Just incredible. Incredible, right? I mean, like, what are you switching in on each side into an Iron Moth, right? It's either going to be Dragapult or Rotom. You already have Rotom out. It's not doing a ton, but at least you can, like, Volt Switch and go into Dragapult afterwards. Obviously not expecting anything other than, I don't know, Psychic to hit you. All right, who's packing Power Herb, Meteor Beam these days? The Don is. That's who. So, yeah, absolutely. Heat of the Week, nominee #1 right there. Oh, yeah. Switches out into Empoleon. Another Heat Tech. Fake Out. Just trying to get some Toxic Chain procs for Monkey Dory, but it's actually Eject Button Empoleon, and he can go right into Landorus there. Just keep the momentum going. E is kind of in the blender right now. But yeah, Moth is here just to do a bunch of damage. And damage it does. Really key getting Mandibuzz down to 44% there. Then Ambipom is able to chip Exca into range of another one. Ambipom first kill of the season, I believe, right there. It's just putting in so much work. And yeah, I mean, like, I get the idea. It's like Ambipom is going to switch out on the CC, so take advantage. You know, you're behind on pieces right now, good for the SD. But yeah, Ambipom can live the +2 Aqua Jet and is able to retaliate back. And it actually got the crit right there. I think, yeah, because it low rolled the first one. So yeah, he had that not crit. You know, he's got a +2 Urshifu face and everything down here. Looks pretty good. I'd imagine Spectrier lives, especially with, like, cycling Intimidate. So, like, it wasn't over if he ended up living that and killing Ambipom, but this kind of sealed the game for Don at this point. Obviously, you see the numbers advantage. Monkey Dory actually puts in a ton of work here. Able to get some kills. Love to see it. And now Mandibuzz is low and gets the Spadef drop. So, 2 unfortunate turns. You know, you don't get crit in the double hit. You don't get that Spadef drop. This game might be looking a little different. But as we'll see, this is banded. Yeah, I think it's going to frisk it. Yep. That's banded Sucker Punch off of Dragapult. And then Calm Mind Eggy is totally fine to finish up the game. This thing's been putting up insane numbers this season. But yeah, GG's. And we will go on to my game versus demo. I think. There we go. Alright. Oh! I didn't mute it. Sorry for everybody's ears if that came through. Holy crap, that was loud. Okay. So we got the Glamora into Zapdos lead. Zapdos looked pretty free, right? Can't really touch Sandy Shocks a whole lot, but I'm not too worried about that. I got AV, Great Tusk for it. And we're just going to see turn 1 what happened. T-Bolt, beautiful, crit power gem. This is actually a Focus Sash Glamora, and I lived that barring the crit. I was going to take 90%. It wasn't really going to be able to do a whole lot for me at that point. But the idea is I didn't want to let Toxic Spikes come up onto the team. So went for the attack, and yeah, I got punished pretty heavily. And I see Endure. All right, so obviously didn't get a read on any item from turn 1 because the crit ruled out, like, Specs. It could have been. I was kind of expecting a Sash lead, but then I see Endure. I'm like, all right, well, this is Custat Berry Glamora. That's a problem because now it's going to Power Gem and kill my Iron Bundle again. And then we'll see on this turn, Great Tusk, and he switched out. So I still don't know if this is Custat Berry or not. Really, really annoying. I doubt it is at this point, because why would you switch out if you have it already there at 1%? But it is what it is. I'm okay. I can just go into Melodic on this. I'm fine with getting Parried here. I guess I should talk about a little bit of the game plan. Ogerpon is really just here to kind of break everything, and I think Bundle Endgame looks really solid, especially into this squad. There's no Vaporeon to eat Hydro Pumps. There's no Hydro Pump switch in on this team at all. So that looks really good. And then, Magmortar is the only ice resistance. So, yeah, I'm looking really good with Bundle. I just need to kind of chip stuff down, especially this the Dunsparce. And I unfortunately get Parried. And I get Parried again. This one, I think, mattered the most out of all the RNG. Like, if I could have just killed this with, like, Scald, which I believe is what I was going for. Maybe I was going for Recover, but if I was going for Scald and I actually got it here, that would have been incredible. Because Toxic Spikes were really, really problematic for AV Tusk, Ogerpon. And like Bundle, I needed some of the health for like a Mach Punch Magmortar. I was a little bit nervous about that. Probably not the end of the world if I got poisoned on that though. But thankfully I break through. I have to go for the Recover now. Yep, Tinkaton can come in on this. And this is also really unfortunate. Earth Power crit. yeah, it was not my week. It just wasn't my week. I get my rocks up. It's going to be helpful, but it's what it is. I see the Endure. I'm like, okay, whatever. But he's not Custat Berry. He's been attacking on 1% and it hasn't proc, so we're okay. So I can Bundle here, and then we actually see a really cool tech here on Demo's end. Another Power or Meteor Beam, but this one misses, which is actually huge. Because I have Mirror Coat here on Melodic, and oh, man, I really misread this turn. For whatever reason, I guess I was calcing Psycho Boost and I was gonna die, but like he's locked into Meteor Beam. I live that. If I go for Mirror Coat here, I kill that, and then Iron Bundle looks amazing. Obviously, I don't really have any defensive switch-ins, but, I get to keep, like, Great Tusk around for shocks and Ape and stuff like that. But I misplay. I go into Tusk here. It's really not going to take a lot from Meteor Beam. It's fine. But, yeah, I just have to sack it, because it's not like I have anything else on my team. I can switch into a +2 Psychic at this point. Yeah. It's very unfortunate, but thankfully I do get the Mirror Coat correct on that turn. Get rid of it. We're still okay. Bundle's doing all right. And then I guess in a sense get lucky here where I'm actually not going to get Parried, and I'm able to keep the Sandy Shocks from preventing it from hiding behind a sub. Could have been bad. Could have been real bad. We'll say that I would have gotten Parried on that last turn. But yeah, Ogerpon comes in and claim a kill here. Alright, weird sequence of turns here. Stomping Tantrum, okay. And then I get Overheated. Significant damage, but this is a Jetpack. Now, Demo goes into Annihilate here, which I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? You keep the Dunsparce around for Bundle, you're looking okay. But this is actually Eject Button Annihilate, and by going into this and letting me get Chip on it, and switching out, right? It's not like there's any other switch at this point other than the Dunsparce. Magmortar's going to die to rocks. And, yeah, I mean, like, that's the only other thing you'd switch into. So, I actually get the chip I need right here with Power Whip into this. And I see Boom Burst. I'm like, all right, Bundle can kill with Ice Beam here. I don't have to worry about accuracy because I've been calcing all this stuff. It is specially defensive based off of like the Power Whip damage, but I was doing like 33% minimum with Ice Beam. However, I didn't calc for AV. I mean, it was still only, I got to hit the Hydro Pump to win. But there was a route, even with all the crap that happened to like Zapdos and Tinkaton. There was a route for me to win still, and I blundered it. I completely oversaw the AV. But yeah, good pool on Demo's end in the team builder. And yeah, just really good game overall. All right, let's go Dodge and Tommy here. Sorry for the noises again. It's probably so freaking loud. I know it's always loud on my end. All right. It's really, really funny turn one. EQ barely lives, and then we got Libero Scorching Sands off of Spec Cinderace. Yeah, that's the second nominee for Heat of the Week. Amazing. Really, really cool tech. Is it optimal? God, no. But was it awesome? Yes. That was amazing. I'm going to kind of skim through this a little bit. We got the Zygarde here is looking dangerous. +2. Go for Brick Break. Gambit just being so naturally fat. That's just like incredible. Yep, gets the kill. Alright. So if you look at Tommy's end, Zygarde's faster than everything. He didn't have to go for like a Trailblaze, barring like a Scarfer or something. And it's not like he'll have an opportunity to Chilly Reception with Glowking, because +2 Crunch is probably going to kill. So Tommy makes the right play. He finds that Terra Ground Sandslash can actually live a hit. Yep, looks good. Get some chip here. Yeah, I agree that Sandslash was probably the most expendable at this point. Yep. Liquid Voice. Primarina. Alright, here we go. The Calm Mind War. This is actually a Quick Claw Ditto. One of my favorite sets. I think it's very, very good. But yeah, so it's just kind of back and forth, back and forth. They're getting super boosted up. Alright, so Ditto's low, and it's really running low on PP too, right? It's out of Calm Minds. So now it's kind of like this Draining Kiss back and forth that they're going to be doing. One of the really interesting things, though, about Ditto, especially around setup mons, if you're a Quick Claw, is that you can just switch out, reset your PP, and come back in. So if they end up getting to like this Draining Kiss stall war that, nothing's really happening, right? Like, Primarina's getting chipped, but it's healing back up. Kind of just going back and forth right now. Well, say that doesn't happen. Dodge gets lucky, gets the crit, and it doesn't even matter. Now Ditto's fine. It still has another Draining Kiss, Shadow Balls for Slowking. But yeah, after Tommy Calm Minded up right there, Ditto could have just switched out eventually after running out of Drain Kisses, and then came back in and just copied the stats, and boom, we're right back at it with fresh PP, and then you just kind of keep doing that as you keep sacking. But yeah, Ditto's been putting in incredible work this season, and really just shows it off here, because at +6, it's just going to OHKO everything and win the game. Yeah, really, really sick. All right, Graham and Ty. No, wait, which one is this? This is Graham and MJC, and that's right. Oh, it's been spoiled. All right, here we go. We're just going to fast forward here. This is our Heat of the Week. Yeah, offensive Terra Ground. Gastrodon OHKOing Espeon is awesome. But yeah, rocks are up. Really, I mean, I guess you could use Roaring Moon as a switch-in for Chi-Yu. I mean, in hindsight, that's what you'd want to do, but obviously Roaring Moon's going to be, like, offensive. You don't really want to do that. Booster Speed Valiant. And it is a special attacking version, which Clefable just doesn't really care about. Yeah, eats a T-Wave. Okay, yeah. Goes into yanmega here on the rocks. Huge. Really, really huge. This is a little saucy yanmega. So it's going for the SD. Eats the Stone Edge. The crit Stone Edge at that, with the Focus Sash. And now it's time. Terra Fighting Reversal. Boom, 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 boom. I don't know how you cook this up, MJC, but kudos to you, man. The Heat of the Week, not even a question. So impressive getting that to work, especially like you didn't have hazard removal after Espeon went down, and you switched it in on the turn with rocks. So that was like really the only chance it was going to have. And it worked out. Yeah, just really, really impressive. All right, so let's go to the early game here. Turn 1, we got Joe and Nathan. Just kind of looking at the team comps here. I think Nathan actually brought probably like the correct 6 into this. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything. I wouldn't really want Bronzong in this matchup, I guess. Yeah, I think you can make these work. Alamomola would have been a little interesting. But yeah, no, this is fine. So turn 1, Nathan's going to stay in on the Earth Power and get up rocks. Which isn't ideal, of course, but it's not the end of the world. But what you kind of have to like realize when this happens is that Heatran is no longer going to be like a consistent Delphox switch in, right? Like Terra Fairy, Terra Blast, or Dazzling Gleam is probably going to 2-hit KO you from this range. So you got to really keep like Iron Hands or Meloetta around for Delphox. And then also, like this is your poison switch in, right? So Iron Hands is going to be kind of putting in a lot of work for Sneasler now. Depending, you know, Joe's been running Scarf, so you at least have to keep that in your mind. Donphan's okay for it too, of course. But yeah, we're going to go Meloetta here into the Corviknight. This turn, I mean, like I understood the logic behind it, but Meloetta is another possible Delphox answer, and it's definitely a good Raging Bolt answer. So preserving health on it's pretty clutch. You can't Terra here because you're Terra Fairy into Corviknight, of course, but that's going to end up, you know, you get your chip on Corv, but you actually get crit with the U-turn. So pretty unfortunate. Now Meloetta's not really a switch in. It can come in after a sack and live a hit, but yeah, the pivots are going away, and you know you see it gets sacked right there to the U-turn. So Raging Bolt's in. Okay, Iron Hands makes sense. But yeah, I would have preferred to have Meloetta around for this, rather than taking 91%, or I guess 74% on my Iron Hands to, well, ends up just getting sacked anyway. So yeah, really running out of, there's really not a whole lot of Delphox switch-ins, and this has been consistently scarfed or taking scarfs from people. So that's looking really good in the end game. Yep, Namorous is going to get some kills. And yeah, here we still got Donphan healthy. Okay, go for the Dark Claw into that. That's fine. This could have been an opportunity to possibly eat a CC with a Namorous and then hard switch into Donphan on a poison move. You know, lower the defense, force the U-turn earlier or something, get your chip. Kind of nitpicking a little bit. Yeah, smartly stays in with Donphan on that turn. That, I mean, I guess that would have been like a hard read that Quack was going to try to set up on that turn. And of course, you know, you want to just kill it if it SDs. However, you know, staying in with Donphan in front of this, you basically don't have a Sneasler answer anymore. Yeah, CC goes down. Yeah, so that's just in Sneasler range. But overall, this game was really solid. The Baton Pass Sunny Day Shaman putting in some work. Love to see that. Actually, I think Shaman's a lot better than what a lot of Draft League players give it credit for. I think it's pretty versatile, and Scarf Healing Wish is always super valuable. But yeah, we're gonna see Delphox is faster, and is just able to finish up with Terrifier Flamethrower. So GG's. Hey, that's week 5. All the standings I got up to date up to, you know, week 7 now. So you guys should be seeing the week 6 breakdown coming around soon. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.